Hey you guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So, I give you guys a lot of makeup recommendations because this is a makeup channel, obviously. That being said, I've kind of come to realize that there are some things that I use in my day-to-day life that I am thoroughly obsessed with that aren't makeup, and I still feel like someone should know about them. So, today I am going to tell you guys about 10 things that I am currently using and loving in my day-to-day life that I am obsessed with that are not makeup, skincare, beauty related at all. So if you would like to know what I've been really into outside of the realm of beauty and maybe get some recommendations, hit like down below and let's get into it. Beverage of the day is raspberry lemonade sparkling ice. This is my new favorite flavor of sparkling ice, which I was already obsessed with, but this goes crazy. Let's get into it. Quick honorable mention to my forever favorite thing, Taylor Swift. How about that new album, right? I'm actually pre-filming this video, so the album's not out yet, but it will be when this video goes up, and I already know that I love it. So, how about that new Taylor Swift album? That's my honorable mention thing, the new Taylor Swift album. I don't even have to hear it, I already know. So, first thing that I have been absolutely obsessed with. I set a New Year's resolution for myself at the beginning of the year to move more because I had kind of fallen into this rut as a fourth year med student with not a lot going on of literally just sitting on my couch or being in my bed all day, every day. And I was starting to notice that it wasn't that good for me. I didn't feel good. I felt like I didn't look particularly good. And I was like, hey, I should move more. I don't love exercise. I'm not big on most forms of exercise. But you know what I can do is walk. I've always been a big fan of going to the track at my school's kind of field and gym and walking around while I, listen to music or do my flashcards or whatever. But most of the time I don't want to go outside because this is the Texas Gulf Coast. It's always either going to be too cold or too hot or too humid or whatever. Long story boring. I bought one of those walking pad things. I'll put a picture up right here. It's like a miniature treadmill that you can slide under desks and stuff. And I keep this thing underneath the table I'm sitting at right now. Actually, it's just my dining room table. I keep it slid underneath there and I pull it out every day and I walk a few miles while I just watch a video or listen to music or talk on the phone or whatever. And I feel so much better. I sleep better. Just things got better when I started actually, not sitting all day. Lately, I've been walking to the full length of a Taylor Swift album every day. It's been really, really fun. It's a good way to get my steps in. And I'm obsessed with using this thing. I use it every single day. I do not skip a day walking a couple miles on it, I don't do anything crazy. I'm not going nuts. I am not an athlete by any stretch of the imagination. However, I've been a fan of kind of low stakes, getting myself moving in a way that requires very little forethought or effort. Because one thing about me is if I have to put in a lot of forethought or effort, I'm just going to not do it. If I have to pick an outfit, go outside, be in front of other people, and worry about other people's perception of me and all that stuff, I'm just not going to do it. So the fact that I can walk on this literally with no forethought and no prior effort in my pajamas is the best thing ever to me. So if you, like me, are just not really big on exercise as a rule and you're trying to get more movement in, but it just seems like there's too many hurdles in the way, I could not possibly recommend getting one of these walking pads more. I really like mine. I'll leave a link to mine in the description box, but there are a ton of options for $200 or less, and I think it's worth the investment. So my second and third things are sort of related. I am a raging caffeine addict. I'm a medical student, so it kind of goes without saying that there are a lot of nights with very little or very poor sleep involved in that experience. You have to get up really early a lot. You work really hard, you work really long hours, and you have to study a lot. It's grueling. Now that being said, I had a caffeine problem before med school. I've had a caffeine problem since college. So then when I got to med school and the demands on my body got worse, I went from, regular drip coffee to cold brew. Now I drink cold brew every single morning. For those of you who are not coffee addicts, cold brew is Cold coffee, yes, but it's not the same as iced coffee. Iced coffee is just like regular coffee, but on ice. Cold brew is actually brewed for a really long time. I think it's like 12 or 14 hours overnight, cold. So the caffeine content, because it's been brewed for so long, is like much higher than regular coffee. I have to drink cold brew every single morning, like literally to function at this point. Honestly, I need a caffeine break, but this is where we're at. So I've tried a bunch of different brands of cold brew. I was getting cold brew at Starbucks every day for a while there. God help me. That got expensive, obviously. So I buy cold brew bottled at the store, which, yes, is still kind of an expensive thing to do. However, it keeps me going, and it's cheaper than buying it at Starbucks every day. I've tried several different brands, and there is no better cold brew on the market. And I say this with knowledge. I'm not speculating. I know for a fact that there is no better cold brew on the market than the stock, whatever, cold brew in this specific color bottle. I've tried the other colors. None of them are as good. This is the one. The green, bold and smooth, unsweet one. This is the best. I can't even drink cold brew from anywhere else anymore because it tastes so bitter to me. They do something to this to make it less bitter and just so hyper palatable that it requires like bare minimum creamer and sweetener, and it's great. It just tastes amazing. I don't know. I go through this stuff so fast. I go through multiple bottles of this a week. I love this. Drink it every morning, and I have been for, I want to say, years now. This and I are attached at the hip. I have bottles of this in my parents' fridge at any given time because if I show up to their place, I need to have access to this. This is like my lifeblood. I'm pretty sure that my actual bloodstream is like significantly made up of this cold brew. I love this an insane amount. And if you are someone with a caffeine problem who needs to get caffeine in efficiently and still have it be delicious, this is the one. Sitting down and drinking my glass of this cold brew is like the best way to start my day every day. Makes every day a little better. I love this. Sponsor me. Anyway, so number 3 is sort of related to that. So in kind of my quest to be a slightly more fit version of myself, because I've let a lot go over the course of medical school. And so after I started kind of walking more, I was like, maybe I should improve my diet. I'm a vegetarian, and so I've always been like, getting enough protein's not that big of a deal. But then my TikTok feed kind of turned into a lot of people talking about how getting enough protein is kind of a big deal. And then I started trying to get more protein in, and I realized that actually, yeah, it made me feel better. So now I get more protein. But anyway, one of the ways that I've been doing that is by putting protein powder in my cold brew in the morning. And the one that I have been using for going on a month now, I want to say, is this Premier Protein Cafe Latte flavor. Yeah, it's coffee flavored protein powder in coffee, yeah. And it has extra caffeine in it. I'm telling you, I have a lot of problems with caffeine. However, I only use 1 scoop. So this is for 2 scoops, 30 grams of protein, and then the caffeine in 1 cup of coffee. That's for 2 scoops. I only use 1. 2 just seems excessive to put in my morning coffee. But it tastes awesome. I really like it. And it starts off my day with 15 grams of protein, which I think is sick. You can also just mix this with water and drink it. I do that too when I want like a little extra protein in the day. And then it gets me up to the full 30 grams. It's pretty yummy. I know a lot of protein powders are really terrible. They can be really just chalky and awful, but I'm a fan of this one. I can't really speak to a ton of brands of protein powder because I'm just now dipping my toe into protein supplementation, and I know nothing about how any of this goes with like lifting weights and doing real workouts that aren't just like walking on a little walkie pad, but it tastes good and it helps me get some extra protein in, which I like. So this I've been really into lately. So in addition to trying to improve my protein intake, the TikTok fitness girlies also told me I needed to improve my fiber intake, which like, I know, like I knew that was true because like, despite being a vegetarian, mostly I eat like bread and cheese, and that's not great for your digestive health. I'm aware of that. I just didn't want to try that hard. So I was like, how can I start supplementing fiber too? aside from, just trying to eat more vegetables. Because, obviously that's the ideal way. But I was like, there's still no way, knowing myself and who I am as a person, that I'm going to eat enough fruits and vegetables in a day to get the amount of fiber that I actually need for my digestive system to function well. So I tried, the Metamucil, powder stuff that you mix into water. Number one, tastes like sawdust. Sinks to the bottom, and then at the end of the cup, you just get, this mouthful of wet, what tastes like saw. Horrible. Do not recommend. And for a big old heaping tablespoon, you only get 3 grams of fiber, which felt like a cheat to me because women are supposed to get 20 to 25 grams a day. And I was like, I'm not doing this. So I did some research and I found on Amazon these gummies. These are just from the Amazon Basics line. They are basically gummy vitamins, but they're fiber. And 2 of these have 4 grams of fiber, which is better than the Metamucil and way easier to consume because it's just 2 gummies. When I walk in to make my coffee every morning, I just take 2 of these and pop them in my mouth. That being said, if I didn't know that it would wreak havoc on my digestive system, I would eat all of these because they're delicious. These taste like, if you've ever had Dots, I'm going to put up a picture. If you've ever had Dots, the candy Dots, these taste exactly like that. And I like Dots. So these have orange, lemon, and strawberry. They're all delicious. And the other thing too, most gummy vitamins have gelatin in them, which is really annoying because vegetarians can't eat gelatin. These are vegetarian. No gelatin. I can eat them. And they're great. This bottle's $9 on Amazon, and this has 45 servings, so this is going to last me a month and a half for $9. And I'm actually getting enough fiber. Love this. Love it. Honorable mention, by the way, for fiber supplementation, the Fiber One, little squares, the little brownies. I tried the birthday cake one recently. That was amazing. The cinnamon coffee cake one is really good. All those little squares, those have 6 grams of fiber in them. 6. That's crazy. If I take these and one of those in a day, I'm halfway to my fiber goal. Sick. Love it. Love these. Highly recommend if you're trying to, be more responsible with your digestive health, because all the people saying that young people are getting colon cancer on TikTok freak me out, okay? They freak me out. So now I'm doing this. I have one more health supplement adjacent thing to talk about. This one has nothing to do with my journey to be slightly more fit or anything like that, and everything to do with the fact that I am a chronic insomniac. I've been an insomniac since I was as far back as I can remember. Struggling to sleep was when I was 10 years old. I started trying to take melatonin and that didn't work. It's probably an anxiety thing. I don't know. But long story boring, I cannot fall asleep at night. And lately in my life, which has been really fun, I also can't stay asleep. So that's been great. That being said, I have tried so many things to try to help me sleep at night. I've tried melatonin, doesn't work. I've tried my anxiety medication, but I don't want to do that because it feels like a bad thing to use on a regular basis. So I don't want to do that. I've tried sleep aids over the counter, which are essentially Benadryl. And anybody who's ever taken Benadryl is very aware of the fact that it will just put you in a coma. You will sleep through every alarm you have, and then you'll be groggy all day the next day. So I don't really love that either. So I had really just reached a point where I was I would love just something that would help me get to sleep at night, maybe even stay asleep at night. Might be asking a lot, but maybe even stay asleep, and that isn't going to make me feel like crap all day the next day. Enter the TikTok girlies again. The TikTok girlies really are coming for me. I get so much advice from the TikTok girlies that has truly made a difference in my life. And they were magnesium. And I went, as someone in the medical profession, no, you're a liar. This is another one of those silly little things that you're going to tell me that some random mineral does something that it absolutely does not do, and it's going to make me spend a bunch of money on some supplement that's useless and junk. But I was desperate, so I bought a bottle of magnesium glycinate. Tell me why this puts me to sleep every time I take it. Is it the placebo effect? I don't know, but every time I take this, it puts me to sleep. Magnesium glycinate, not magnesium citrate. Magnesium citrate is a laxative. Look at me. Insomniacs, do not buy magnesium citrate when you're looking for magnesium glycinate. Glycinate. I will link this one in the description as well. 2 of these capsules, which are also vegetarian, thank goodness, no gelatin, and I fall asleep in like half an hour. For me, that is so good. That is so good for me. Half an hour is like the best that I could possibly dream of. This is fairly affordable, comes with 120 capsules, but really any magnesium glycinate formula that you feel like you like and is in your price range or whatever is great. This works so well. Insomniacs, put the Benadryl down and just try it. If it doesn't work for you, okay, I fully embrace that this probably doesn't work for everybody and that I could be totally placeboing myself into thinking that this works. But just try it. Just try it and see what happens. Because I'm telling you, I actually sleep when I take this. A decade and a half of insomnia, and this puts me to sleep. That's all. One more kind of fitness adjacent thing, actually, that I wanted to mention. And this one is free. So you don't even have to pay to experience the pleasure of this. It's not a product, technically. It's a YouTube channel. But it is something I'm obsessed with, and it's something I've been obsessed with for a while now. I've been following this YouTube channel for a really long time, and I've gotten super into yoga over the last couple of years, and I've been doing it. I try to do it every day. I'm not gonna lie, I don't always do it every day, but I try to do it every day, okay? However, Yoga with Adriene, the best yoga videos on YouTube. I don't care. I have tried other yoga videos, and all of the girlies seem really cool and nice and fun, but nobody does it like Adriene does it. There's a reason she's as popular as she is. If you've never tried yoga, I would like to invite you to just put your preconceived notions aside and put on one video and just see what happens. You know, there are ones that are like 10 minutes. Try it for 10 minutes and see what you think. It improves my strength, my flexibility, helps with my anxiety. Honestly, I think it helps me sleep at night. I used, some like breathing techniques and like nervous system regulation techniques that I learned from yoga in some really high stress, anxious moments, and they help. I'm telling you, mentally, physically, yoga makes me feel better. Is that woo-woo? I don't know. Maybe, but it's physical activity, and for the girlies like me who don't love most forms of exercise, I think yoga is a good happy medium between like exercise, stretching, and meditating. So it doesn't necessarily feel like you're making yourself exercise, if that makes sense. So if you've never tried yoga before, I recommend that you just put on one Yoga with Adriene video. I will link her channel in the description. Put on one video and just see what you think. You don't need a mat, you don't need props, you don't need anything. Just try one video and get back to me and tell me what you thought. I'm very interested to hear if anybody actually does this. All right, next, I have a few things that are not technically beauty products, but they're like beauty adjacent. And I know I said this wasn't a beauty video, and it's not, but like obviously, based on this channel, I love beauty products, and so a lot of the things that I love in my life, aside from those beauty products, are things that are either related to those products or in the pursuit of making myself beautiful, right? Right. So, that being said, let's talk about a couple of things that are sort of peripherally beauty products. Not really, but like in that vein. First things first. If you're acne prone, if you've got like hair that breaks, anything like that, you need a satin pillowcase, okay? I'm sure I'm not the first person to tell you this. I'm hoping I will be the last person to tell you this. You need a satin pillowcase, okay? I didn't believe it either. I was like, no, I'm not going to go spend money on new pillowcases. But you know what? It helped my skin and it helped my hair. I am very acne prone. It makes sense that sleeping on cotton, because cotton absorbs stuff, it like absorbs the skincare and the oils and all the gross stuff off your face. And then it's just in the pillowcase and your face is on the pillowcase every night and there's gunk in it, you know? Also, cotton like rubs. It rubs on your skin. Satin slides, right? It slides. Same thing with your hair. Cotton rubs, satin slides, right? So less hair breakage, less skin sensitivity, less redness, less acne, all the bad stuff. Is this going to single-handedly fix all those problems for you? No. You need products, obviously, that are going to address those concerns. However, is it going to help? Yes. I have like at least 6 satin pillowcases, I think, at this point, and some of them are really affordable. I'm going to link the ones that I just most recently purchased on Amazon because I got a pack of 2 for like, I think $8 or $9. You don't have to get like silk. There are these people who are out here advertising pure silk pillowcases. That's highly unnecessary. Get cheap satin from Amazon. It works the same. And just see what happens. Just see what happens with your skin and your hair. For me, it made a difference. I now never ever go without satin pillowcases. I take these traveling so that I can put them on like hotel pillows. I'm like neurotic about satin pillowcases at this point because I genuinely believe they make a difference. I'm just saying. Go. Link is in the description. They're not even affiliate links because I'm too lazy to make them into affiliate links. Just go, try it, see what happens. Worst case scenario, it's like $8. But I think you're going to like it. All right, second thing that is peripherally beauty related. This is kind of directly beauty product related, but it is not itself a beauty product, so I'm still counting it as non-beauty. I am so lazy about cleaning my makeup brushes, it's actually embarrassing. Like, you don't want to know how long I go in between cleaning my makeup brushes. And that's super sad, but it's true. I get so lazy about it. But the thing that makes me do it pretty much at all is this. If I had to use soap and water every time, I think I'd maybe clean my brushes twice a year. I admit this about myself, okay? But this, the Cinema Secrets Makeup Brush Cleaner, this is a godsend. This is the reason that I ever have clean brushes literally at all. I think if you get the starter kit, it comes with a little tin, but you don't even need the tin. You can just use like a bowl, right? Pour this in a bowl or the little tin thing or whatever. You take all of your brushes, you just dip the ends, like the part that has pigment on it. You dip that in there, just a little bit. And then you take like a washcloth, or honestly, I use like paper towels because I can't afford to go through that many washcloths. I don't have laundry on site. I have to pay for it. Wasteful, but you do what you got to do. And you just rub the brush on there, and you do it until all the pigment comes out and there's no more pigment. And then you put the brush down, and the brush will dry. It will air dry in like a minute or less. Boom, you have a clean brush. I can do every brush in my collection, and I have a ton of brushes, okay? I've been doing makeup stuff for a really long time. I have a ton of makeup brushes. I can do every single brush in like 15, 20 minutes. Can you imagine if I had to do soap and water by hand, every single one, plus drying time? I could do every single brush in my collection and have them all ready to use on my face in less than 30 minutes. It is incredible. Is it cheap? No. However, I continue to get it because it is the only reason I have clean brushes. And at this point, I'm like, I will simply invest the money to make sure that it gets done. So if you're like me, and there's nothing you hate more than by hand standing there and cleaning all of your brushes in the sink, there is a better way. Will it cost you more? Yes. But I think it's worth every penny. Okay, last peripherally related to beauty thing. And technically you could use this for things that aren't beauty. So this is kind of a stretch in my opinion. I visit my parents who live about a 2-hour drive from here on a lot of weekends. So I'll like drive up there on a Friday and come back on a Sunday. I, for the longest time, was like lugging a tote bag full of my skincare products to there. And then this year, as I started traveling more, like going to visit residency programs and having more free time to like do things and go places, I realized that is just not a sustainable way to travel. Even a close distance. It's just not, I don't like doing it. So I started looking for a more compact way to transport my skincare, basically. Enter this freaking toiletry bag from Amazon. It's like $20. And I am not joking, this thing is like a Mary Poppins bag. For our Harry Potter fans, it's like that purse that Hermione charmed to hold all of their stuff. This thing holds so much stuff. It's like this big. It's like this wide and this tall. It's not a big bag. I'll put another picture here. It's got like 4 pockets. Some of them are really small and some of them, the 2 middle ones, are quite big. They hold so much stuff. I don't know how this thing zips closed every time I put stuff in it, But it does. I can fit every part of my skincare routine. I have a lot of steps. These are full-size bottles. And I can put every single one of them, plus like hair ties, tampons, my toothbrush, toothpaste, floss, perfume. Like, I can put all my bathroom stuff in this bag and it zips shut, no problem. I don't get it. At this point, I basically leave it, it's got a little hanger thing, and I basically leave it hanging on the towel bar in my bathroom at this point because I go back and forth so frequently that I literally just leave it there, and then when I need to pack to go somewhere, usually my parents' house, I would literally just, as I'm doing my skincare in the morning, turn around and put stuff in there, zip it up, and I'm ready to go. I leave like 2 of the 4 pockets just permanently packed with like hair ties and floss picks and toothpaste and that kind of thing. It's amazing. If you do any amount of traveling in your life and you are like a skincare girly, this is going to change your life. Because not only that, I can now bring full-size bottles of stuff when I go places on airplanes because I can fit them all into this bag and fit the bag in my checked bag, and then I can check the whole thing. So I'm allowed to bring my full-size skincare when I travel. I don't have to put everything in the little bags that go through security or whatever. No, I can bring everything. I don't have to choose. And I'm an overpacker, so that's important to me. I am incredibly passionate about this bag. It is crazy how much stuff this thing holds. It's kind of viral on Amazon, so some of you may already have it. You can vouch for me. This holds everything. Just trust me, $20 is an unbelievably small amount for the value you get out of this thing. I promise, I swear. Last but certainly not least, I'm excited about this one. I have another free thing. This costs $0, but it has added so much to my life in the last several months. So because I've had more free time lately, I wanted to get back into reading. I have always been like super passionate about books and reading ever since I was a little kid. And in college and med school, I found that I just did not have the free time to make that a sustainable hobby. Especially because who I am as a person is if I start a book and I'm really into it, I do not want to put that thing down till it's done. And I will put off every other thing I need to do in my life until I finish that book. Which, again, when you're in med school or even in college, that's not really a sustainable hobby. So I haven't really been reading for a while. But now that I have more free time, I've gotten back into reading. And I've been reading a lot of books. And in addition to getting into reading, like physical books and stuff on my Kindle and all of that, I have gotten into audiobooks. And the good thing about audiobooks is that when I find a book that I really, really like, I don't have to put my whole life on hold to remain engaged in the story and finish the book. I can have it on in the background all the time while I do my adult responsibilities like driving places and shopping for groceries and doing dishes and cleaning my apartment. I can do all of those things and also read. So I think that's really great. As a multitasking person from way back, I love that for myself. However, I am also not exactly rolling in cash right now. The whole med student unpaid labor thing. So I found an app that lets you connect to your local public library and download books and audiobooks 100% free. You can download up to 30 books at a time, and you can have 30 books on hold at a time, and this is 100% free. The app is called Libby, and I'm going to put the link to the App Store download in the description box. This app is a game changer because without it, I would probably just be spending money with reckless abandon on books. I have a Kindle Unlimited subscription, so I'm already spending $12 a month to read books, but I can't always get the books that I want to read on Kindle Unlimited. They call it unlimited, but it is a pretty limited selection, and a lot of the popular stuff right now is not available on Kindle Unlimited, but it is available at the library. So through this app, I can download it either as a Kindle book or as an audiobook. I have gone through like 30-something books since the beginning of this year because of this app. I absolutely love it. Sometimes when you put something on hold, if it's like particularly trendy, it might be a while until you get it. But like honestly, I kind of have like constantly cycling through, like as soon as I finish something else from my list will be available. And so I'm pretty much constantly have something new to either read or listen to. And it's free. I have not had to buy a single book. 100% free through your public library. I've always been a library girly. I've always been a big proponent of public libraries. But now you can have it in the comfort of your own home. You don't even have to go anywhere. You don't have to do anything. This app is amazing. I'm on it every single day. I cannot emphasize enough, if you are a big reading person, but you just feel like you haven't had the time or the money, my recommendations in order: Libby, audiobooks. Trust me. Thank me later. I was going to say it's worth the investment, but it's free. Download the app, give it a try. Thank me later. Anyway, those are the 10 things in my life right now that are not technically beauty products that I am fully and thoroughly obsessed with and in love with. And I think that probably came through in the way that I discussed these things. I'm very passionate about these things. Let me know in the comments if you've tried any of these things, if you're planning on trying any of them based on this video, and how strongly I endorse them. If you enjoyed this video or you got a useful recommendation out of it, please leave a like. And if you want to see more from me, usually beauty content, but I might branch out a little more into videos like these. This was fun. Please hit subscribe down below. I would absolutely love to have you. And until the next one, bye you guys.